Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So in today's tutorial, we are working on a Mad River rock. It's a smaller one, and I am going to be painting on some bats. So this is one of the 12 videos that I have made for my 12 days of Halloween. And this one I just went nuts with and just played and had fun. And I'm telling you, I really hope you guys try this one because it was so much fun, not worrying about anything and just painting. It was amazing. So right now I'm using Phthalo Blue by Delta. Phthalo Blue, when it dries, it almost dries to like a midnight blue. It's very, very dark. It shows up better on a white background, but my purpose for it was to do exactly what I'm doing right now because I know when I add white to it, it makes this brilliant blue color. And yes, it dries a little bit darker, but you can see it a lot better. And I wanted the darkness of the black in contrast of the darkness of the phthalo blue, and then to have these light colors. Then I go really wild and I throw in some yellow in between. So if you know, with the primary colors, yellow and blue mixed together makes green. But because of the type of yellow that I'm using, which is primary yellow by DecoArt, and with the phthalo blue, it actually turns it into this really eerie green color. So you'll see that happening as I've been sort of sponging this on. And I'm using one of my blending brushes that I purchased from Amazon. There is a link for it in the description below. And you know what? Wasn't done there. Nuh-uh. Now I'm throwing in some orange. And this is poppy orange. So it's kind of like a red hue of orange, I guess. Like it's kind of deep. And it also dries dark. So especially when I've mixed it with that blue, that phthalo blue, it makes it really dark. So I'm just putting color on wherever. I have no rhyme or reason on this. I just wanted to be doing like color smashes all over the rock, and I just kept going and going and going. I do eventually lighten it up a little bit and then reapply the straight colors again. You'll see that a little bit later. But I just wanted this to be full of color because I'm painting on bats, and bats are flying around and they don't see, they're blind. So they use the echo of their clicking to determine where things are so they don't fly into them. So that's why I went with this kind of a background, because they can't see. They don't know what they're flying into or around or away from. So that's what I wanted to sort of mimic, is that there may be a street light going on there, and maybe the sky that's blue and it has some of the twinkling of the stars, and the oranges are for the leaves on the trees. I don't know, but I wanted it all smushed together so that it really showed that bats don't really care about color because they're more caring about sound. So I just thought it was a really cool thing to do. And I really wanted to play around with some color, maybe do a bit of like abstract kind of background on this. So this is what took me the most amount of time on this painting. It was a quick painting, but this was what took the most amount of my time, was just getting the colors applied and having a nice equal balance of the lights and the dark colors. So I just kept applying paint. I just kept playing with it. It didn't matter if it was wet or dry. I just really wanted to play around with it. So when I get my hand out of the way, you'll see this green. Check that out. It's like a really, like a dark blue green color. Kind of, it's really eerie. So, but I really liked it. So I was happy that I was able to capture that. And then putting in more of that phthalo blue and just sort of mixing in the colors. I do believe I put in some more oranges and a little bit more yellow. And I just really like the background. Turned out amazing. So while I continue to apply colors, I just want to remind you guys, if you like the video, let me know by giving me the thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe because I have a whole whack of more tutorials on the way. And if you don't want to miss any of them, make sure you ring the notification bell because it will let you know every time I put something up. And you don't want to miss it. I'm telling you, there's so many more great things coming. So I'd really appreciate if you could do that. And then leave me a comment in the comment section below. I really want to know what you think about this background. Like if this is something that you would try, or if you liked it, or even if you didn't like it, I'm totally okay to hear both sides of the coin here. Like that's the whole point. So I would love to know what you think about this background. It was just really fun for me to do, just to smush on some colors and look at that green. Like it just, oh, it's just amazing. I just loved it. It turned out so, so good. And like I said, I'm just sort of tapping on the colors wherever I want. So now it's all dry and I'm going to show you that I'm drawing on the bats. So I'm using my charcoal pencil. I do have one that is gray and I also have one that's white, which is the one that I'm using now. Because it's a dark background, I really want to be able to see my outline drawing, and that's why I'm using the white one. And I'm just sketching. I'm not saying that once this is drawn on there, that's what I've got to paint, because I very rarely stay within the lines. So it's another reason why I use the charcoal pencil, because then I can erase the lines afterwards if they're still showing. So it's a win-win for me. So I put on 3 bats because there's always that rule of 3, or the odd rule. So just to keep the eye moving on a painting, you want to have odd number of things. So I'm doing 3 bats so that your eye moves around the painting from left to right, and you're still seeing all of those beautiful colors that are in behind there. Now, when I was doing this painting, I was intending on doing something special with the bats. But once I got it painted, I decided against it, because if I did, sparkle paint or metallic paint, or if I put any gems or anything like that in there, I I feel it would take away from the background, and that's not what I wanted to do. Even though it's in the background, I really wanted it to be that foundation of this amazing color palette, with these black bats flying around it. So I hope that I was able to capture what I have explained about this painting. But I was really excited about doing it, and I was really excited about how it turned out. And I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but how excited I am to tell you about it. That's I was just so happy with this. It was something that I just sort of threw caution to the wind, and I just did whatever I felt was good, or was flowing in my creativeness at that time. So, and again, like I said, I truly was impressed. And to throw a couple of bats on there, well, 3 to be honest, was just so easy to do. As you can see, they're just shapes put together. And I did them in different sizes too. So I've got a large, a medium, and a small. So that way it also gives the painting depth, because the biggest one's going to be the closest and the smallest one's going to be the furthest away. So that's another thing that you do to trick the eye into sort of exploring the painting when it's going from left to right or right to left, depending on how the painting is presented. But it also helps helps the eye to define depth and how realistic it is, or how how prominent the forefront is, all of that kind of good stuff. And it's what captures the viewer when you're doing these kinds of paintings. So, like I said, I was so excited to do this, so excited about how it turned out. So, I'd really be interested to know your opinion just by leaving me a quick little comment in the comment section. And I look forward to reading them all because, well, I do. I read them all. And I do reply to all of them as well. At least I try to keep up with that. It sometimes takes me a couple of days, but don't worry, you're going to be getting a reply from me because I so enjoy learning about what you like that I'm painting because this is all for you. I mean, yeah, it's for me too. Like I'm getting enjoyment out of doing this, but this is for your viewing pleasure, right? So that's why I'm happy to be able to do this. So I would really love to hear what you think of this painting. Maybe it's not your style. Maybe I'm all excited about this for nothing. I don't know, but I liked it. So that's why I'm excited. So just let me know. So I just continue going on painting on the largest bat now. And like I said, they're just a few shapes put together. And I decided not to outline this one with gold or with black. Black I usually do on the Mad River stones or the Mad River rocks because they once they're resined, they do turn really dark. So I usually do an outline, but I thought, nope, this time I'm not. I'm letting the colors be the end when it's not so predominant, like not so, what's the word, so sharp. And I think that it adds a lot to what I was explaining before, how bats don't see, they hear. And I'm sure that what they hear, if it is converted into a visual, it would be really blurry like this because they're not really able to see the shapes and colors and things like that. So that's why I didn't bother doing the edge as well. And I was really loose with this one. Like I didn't have a plan for it. I just threw on some colors and painted on a couple of bats and called it done. I really am impressed. So I hope you are too. And I hope you've been enjoying this 12 Days of Halloween series that I've been doing. I've been loving it too, coming up with so many ideas that I could do more than 12, but I kept it at 12. So there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it, so get creative.